Welcome back to Morning Break, where we've got our first of two open for business segments today. First up, we've got Liz Goodgold, the founder of Red Fire Branding, here to talk about how she can help you in your business with your branding and marketing needs. So thank you so much for stopping by. This is a true pleasure for us.
Nice to see you again, Katie.
Let's talk about where the idea for Red Fire Branding really came from.
Most people, of course, think it comes from my hair. But the truth is, if you rewind during the really bad recession, I had to rebrand myself because I named my company Duh Marketing, which became a disaster.
Oh, no.
So Red Fire Branding is as if the phoenix that was rising from the ashes. And as so many entrepreneurs out there know, there's always a way to learn from your mistake and move it forward.
Which is great, because then it almost takes that failure and erases the failure from it, because you learn something, you've improved.
Exactly.
Oh, I love that. Maybe rebranding failure almost. Okay, so let's talk about a little bit about what you do with your business.
It's really simple. I work with entrepreneurs and executives, brand better, speak gooder, and make more money.
Speak gooder. That is funny, which is, of course, part of the title of your newest book. Tell us a little bit about what are some of those common mistakes that you see in businesses when they're especially getting up off the ground?
I think the first mistake I see is when it comes to naming. And I say that naming is to marketing like location is to real estate. The value of the property is in the brand name. And when you're in a small town, in a great town like Reno, it's really easy to create descriptive names, or what I call commit genericide. Northern Nevada, fill in the blank. Sierra Nevada, fill in the blank. And what happens is they're not unique enough and they're not distinct enough. And so they just fall into the sea of similarity. So the most important advice I can give any entrepreneur right now is spend the time necessary to create a distinctive brand name that has flawless recall.
Which is important, I would imagine, too, for that search engine optimization. When you're Googling something, you're like, I can't remember what that name was. I know it started with Sierra Nevada. Then you type that in, and a slew of things come up. Yours might be lost.
Exactly. And then there's also a common example of people thinking that they can use acronyms. And I like to say ADW. Acronyms don't work.
Okay.
Because they can stand for hundreds of things. So people can argue very valid, well, there's AT&T or there's KFC. But a few things, KFC still has that little dirty letter in there, F for fried. And we always associate letters with real words. And so if you can't remember what it associates, they become a sea of just confusion. Did she say I? And it's hard to hear. Did she say IP? Did she say IC, ID? They all rhyme in our alphabet.
Right.
So I try to get people to avoid using any of those acronyms.
That's really interesting. And you know, you talk so much about businesses, but I feel like a lot of your principles really apply to the individuals, especially as we're in this influencer age on social media, where we're all trying to market ourselves properly the way we want to be seen, maybe monetizing our Instagrams and TikToks and things like that. So do you have any advice that's specifically for people who are more on the individual side of marketing?
Yeah, of course, because this is what we call personal branding. And the secret there is only you can be you. So instead of saying, oh my gosh, I'm so disappointed that I'm the only one, embrace it and absolutely love it. And we have some really strong personal branding figures out there. And we could look at, for example, Elon Musk. You are a brand if people either love you or hate you. If you are vanilla, you are not a brand.
Wow.
So you have to have that courage, that chutzpah, the cojones, to name something and to own your own personal brand. Even if some people say, don't really like you there, because then you are your own you.
So you mentioned Elon Musk. Are there any other people out there, who, celebrity or not, who are really good at that marketing of themselves, so that we can maybe look to them as an example when we're looking for our own marketing?
Sure. I think it's actually a great idea to look at somebody that you love and say, now, what did they do and what can I learn from it? Richard Branson, for example, right, trotted down Wall Street on a horse. What a statement he made, right? And he's become tremendously successful. We could look at somebody like Oprah, and it's not just the magazine or the TV show, it's her sphere of influence. And she's always consistent. Oprah Winfrey will not enter politics, and she will not be our next president.
Yes.
Great brands tell you what they are and what they're not, what they do and what they'll never do. And that's really important. I remember meeting a chiropractor, and she says, I don't do fluff and buff. I only work with people in pain. She has defined her brand, not by just what she does, but by what she doesn't do, which is a great example of branding.
Wow, I feel like I have just skimmed the surface of the wealth of knowledge that you possess, Liz. I cannot thank you enough. I know you have an incredible website, you have podcasts, you have blogs, you have these great books here. I just want to make sure that people know where to find you. Give us kind of the rundown. Are you on social media as well? Mostly your podcast
Sure,
blog?
easy to find. You can find me at Red Fire Branding. Of course, you can find me over on LinkedIn at Liz Goodgold. No secrets in any of those brand names. And you certainly can find me at Insta as well.
All right. Well, thank you, Liz, so much. And I'll make sure that those websites that you mentioned are on our website, colatv.com, so that you guys can go ahead and check it out. And again, like I said, skimming the surface here, I think we might just have to have you back. So thank you so much for stopping by.
Sounds great. Thanks so much.
All right. Thank you guys for watching. We'll be right back.